Hello and welcome back to the Canaries Chat channel. Today we have another transfer update video. It's been a little bit quieter than usual, but thought there was some interesting updates and one breaking bit of news that has just kind of come through in the last few minutes. So yeah, thought it'd be interesting to jump on. In regards to outgoings, there's still plenty of rumours around the two big boys, Sainz and Sargent. Sainz, it is believed that Porto will be coming back in for him. They're the only team to put a concrete offer on the table. It didn't meet our valuation, so yeah, that's been paused there. But in regards to them coming back, it seems to be, even with the new manager coming in, increasingly likely that they'll be returned to the table and potentially put in an offer that more meets our valuation. I think we'd probably end up taking 15 million with some add-ons, and they weren't miles away from that in the beginning. I think it was around that £12 million mark, so definitely want to keep an eye on there. And obviously there's been a lot of talk recently around Josh Sargent, whether it would be a Premier League move, an Italian League move, and most recently Wolfsburg have come in for him. They've obviously been active in the transfer market, selling player to Leeds for around €6 million, and if we're looking for around about 18-20 million, that will go a long way in helping them fund a possible Josh Sargent transfer. There's still talks about Burnley. Lee Hendry's been talking about the possibility of Burnley going after Sargent, and that it would make sense. It would be a good signing for them to go for, but definitely want to keep an eye on there. But unfortunately, these things just drag on a bit. But it's hyping up now since the kind of start of this month, because contracts were over and it's a different year for kind of financial fair play and things like that, or PSR should I say. It's now really kind of ramping up, and I personally, if Sarge doesn't want to be here, which is absolutely understandable, I want it wrapped up as quickly as possible. So one, we can get the replacement, and two, it's not very disruptive to our season. We all know what happened last year. Rowe decided that he didn't want to play first game of the season. He threw Thorpe a curveball. He obviously had to then manage that situation as well as the team to get a result against Oxford, which we didn't manage to do. So yeah, I'd rather it done sooner rather than later, but I imagine everyone would in that situation. In regards to kind of what's been happening elsewhere, just before we go into the incomings, Jack Stacey had his contract extended. I believe it was 2 years with an option another 12 months afterwards. For me, that indicates that we'll be looking to probably play that 5 at the back with the right wing back. I think he's more suited to that role than Fisher is. Very mixed bag on social media around Stacey and that contract extension. People saying they're happy for the experience, but potentially not first team starter. But for me, if you're giving him a contract, another 2-year contract, I imagine he's looking to start being the first team right back again. But it's good to have healthy competition, but I do think he'll lean into the right wing back role a bit more than Fisher. In the previous videos, we've discussed the fors and against for both of them. I think they both have their place in the team, but it may just be that we rotate and we feel like we need two right backs who have played championship games and capable at this level to be rotated to prevent injury and things like that. But one thing you do have with Jack Stacey is consistently fit for games, very good professional, but yeah, some people will point out defensively sometimes doesn't seem the most stable, and his final product isn't always the best. But if that's something that could be worked on, could work really nicely for us. Just quickly, about 85% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. We've got a very ambitious target of trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the start of the season. So if you want to contribute to that and you enjoy Norwich City content, make sure to click the subscribe button. Now into the incomings. So 2 stories that we've got for you today. So the first one is Ameen. We've obviously had this conversation before around us being interested in the Swindon striker, and Ian Holloway clearly saying that he would not let him go for a certain price. That price has now come out and is at 1.5 million. I personally think that's quite a lot for an 18-year-old who hasn't really got obviously any championship experience. His numbers are not crazy. I believe it was 1 goal and 2 assists within 14 games. He clearly has a lot of potential, but I do think 1.5 million could go quite a long way towards another either striker or more experienced striker who's playing the Championship, and things along those lines. So I believe it was Hardy went to or moved away from Plymouth, and he was around 800 or 1,000, I think, which is a really good deal. So if he, who's getting double digits in the Championship, can be got for under $1 million, I think that's kind of where our bar should be set. If we're spending 1.5 million, we should hopefully be getting someone that we know will contribute quite well. But obviously we've got a long-term game plan as well, and he could fit into that. I'm just trying to think, if Sargent goes, he's probably not going to be the striker that replaces him. So that means if we're spending 1.5 million, we've still got to go and spend more money on a replacement striker as well. So, but one to keep tabs on. But us and Sheffield United were leading the way there. But at 1.5 million, I'm not too optimistic if that deal happens. And the breaking news that has been coming out very, very recently is that Mathias Kvistgaarden, Bromby striker, 23-year-old, has been linked with ourselves, and we're the Championship club that he's been linked with. There are talks that he's progressing a deal with Lens. I think when you look at his ability and also his price tag, yes, we've been linked with him, but I don't overly think if Lens are coming in for him, you'd go to Lens over us. That's just a matter of fact. But equally, he is around 50 million euros transfer market value. That means they're probably going to get in the region of that 10-12 million in that sale. And do I think we'll spend that on one striker? Probably not. I think the striker that we'll look to get for Sargent will be in that 5 to 7 million range, and then another striker will be brought in as backup to hopefully provide Cernat a bit of freedom on where he can play. But yeah, it's disappointing because he does look like real talent, and if we could have got him, that would have been an unbelievable bit of business. But yeah, our name's been linked with him, but unfortunately it does look like Lens are kind of wrapping that one up, and they seem relatively confident that they're going to get it over the line. But you know, with certain deals, they're never done until the dotted line has been signed. So it's definitely one just to monitor, just in case. But chances are Lens will be getting their man there. In regards to other incomings, it's been a little bit quiet. The club have confirmed, obviously, wingers will be where they're focusing on, but they've also said they're looking for another midfielder. So whether that means Nunes is out of the door or going out of the door, you look at our midfielding options at the moment. You've got Forson, Shortau, McLean, Wright, Nunes. We've got a lot of them. So if we're looking to buy another, I do feel like there will be other outgoings going as well. So, but hopefully means a few more links, potentially a few more signings to come in the next kind of couple of weeks, which will be really good. It seems to have really kind of settled down. Pre-season started, Jurasek is back on the pitch, and they're hoping kind of this season will be kind of the start for him to really start kicking on, which would basically be like a new signing for us as well. So really hoping and really positive that the signs that we've made and players coming back from injury can really make a difference for us for this year. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Keep on doing transfer update videos. So if you want to be across kind of all the latest Norwich City news, give us a subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.